This is a book review of Switch. We are Accessory to Success and review a lot of business books here. We send out a weekly email with book recommendations, best of lists, takeaways from all these great business books. If you'd like to go to the website and subscribe to that, I'm sure it'll be worth it if you're interested in business kinds of books. Now let's move on to the main takeaway from Switch. Change, experts counsel, is life's only guarantee. So why is the process a painful slog? We consume books and media about the miraculous gifts awaiting us on the other side of positive changes. Still, when it comes to actually alerting our work, private, or internal lives, we chicken out. According to Chip and Dan Heath, authors of Switch, How to Change Things When Change is Hard, tension between the rational and emotional minds is to blame. But there's good news. Training yourself to harmonize the two can result in material magic. Our rational minds are programmed to revere and emulate social standards. It's a survival mechanism rooted in objective realities. Practically speaking, it's the inner voice urging you towards fruits and vegetables. On the flip side, our emotional minds are the craven libertines who strap onto the couch for a 7-hour streamathon catered by Pizza Hut. In Switch, the Heaths explain how dramatic positive change involves melding the two battling instincts. A comprehensive study, they traverse life's terrain, from corporate to personal, and show how balancing our angels and demons is the key to unlocking permanent and success-focused change. Through utterly readable stories, the Heaths demystify decades of dense psychological and sociological research and present a patterned method that everyone can leverage to achieve their goals. Whether you involve finding love, getting healthy, or climbing the corporate ladder. Now some bullet point takeaways of what you'll learn in this great book. 3 important facets that drive lasting behavioral change. 3 surprises about change. Emotions can overwhelm rational thinking. Change is easier with realistic and smaller milestones. Change works best when emotions and rational thought work together. The path to change is strewn with failure. Accept this, embrace this, and keep moving forward. Change requires clarity of goal and unwavering focus of goal. An organizing, enthusiastic development of a simple and ultimately successful technique of making housekeeping fun. A manager who molds a crew of underperforming customer support attendants into a well-oiled and profitable machine by instituting one simple change. Now on to the main book summary. In this remarkable book, Chip and Dan use the analogy of the rider and the elephant, originally introduced by Jonathan Haidt in the book The Happiness Hypothesis. Focus on 3 elements can bring about massive and everlasting change in behavior. The rider, rational side of the brain, the elephant, emotional side of the brain, and the path, the surrounding environment. Our human brain is a composite of the rational side and the emotional side. Change fails because of the conflict in our brain. Change fails when the elephant and the rider cannot decide or stay together long enough on the change path. For more on this, read the book Grit. Change requires new situations and different actions. This can be achieved when the path has clarity and when both the rider and the elephant embark on the path in cooperation with each other. 3 surprises about change. What is perceived as a people problem is often a situational problem. What is perceived as laziness is often exhaustion. What is perceived as resistance is often lack of clarity. The remedy? Direct the rider. The rider, being the rational part of the brain, tends to think through and analyze things. When faced with complex problems, the rider is in his element. However, when you want to bring about behavioral change, he tends to overanalyze, lose focus, and analysis paralysis sets in. Analysis paralysis is discussed in great detail in the book The Ultimate Sales Machine. The best way to narrow focus on smaller but key aspects of change, solve big problems with a series of small solutions. Script the critical moves, or read the book The One Thing, or Traction. Define each solution clearly and focus on achieving them one by one. This gives clarity to the rider. Resistance is often due to a lack of clarity. Clearly defining specific goals directs the rider and guides him to the destination to pursue. Motivate the elephant. The best way to get the elephant to cooperate with the rider is to motivate it with powerful feelings, as it responds best when emotions are evoked. Unlike the rational rider, the elephant is not responsive to logical and practical analysis. For more on how to think through decisions, read the book Thinking Fast and Slow by Dan Kahneman. Stimulating powerful emotional responses can be done through positive and negative triggers. Negative triggers, like shock and outrage, work well to bring a sense of urgency. Positive triggers reinforce self-image and self-esteem. It awakens hope and unleashes creativity. For example, when smaller milestones are achieved, it brings hope and a sense of accomplishment. Tell your mind to expect and embrace small failures en route. The wins will come when the small hurdles are faced and crossed. An amazing book about getting to the root of motivation is Drive. Shape the path. The surrounding environment or situations is called the path. What is perceived as a people problem is often a situational problem. Human behavior is mostly an outcome of their situation. Make the journey easy for the rider and elephant by shaping the path. Make right behavior easy and wrong harder. Set up situations to bring out the good in people. Build habits. Ensure against overconfidence. To change things, pay close attention to social signals. These social cues have a great bearing on individual change. The book Creating Magic is a lot to say about this. Change is a process. It is many small steps becoming a mighty ocean. It may seem difficult initially, but it changes you and leads to positive growth patterns. Recognize and celebrate the first step towards switch. If you enjoy this book, consider reading Poke the Box by the legendary Seth Godin. About the authors, Chip and Dan Heath. Best-selling authors have helped countless individuals and international conglomerates reinvent frameworks and redefine outlooks for optimal performance both personally and professionally. Unlike many of today's advice authors, the Heaths aren't carnival barkers peddling empty bromides. Instead, they're educated experts who dispense invaluable lessons on everything from habit breaking to strategic planning. Together, the brothers have co-authored 4 wildly popular books, which have been translated into over 30 languages and read by millions worldwide. Chip Heath is a Stanford Graduate School of Business professor with expertise in organizational behavior, negotiation, international strategy, and social entrepreneurship. A top consultant to some of America's biggest companies and organizations, including Google, the Nature Conservancy, and the American Heart Association. Chip helps individuals and corporations dismantle productivity obstacles and ignite profits. Dan Heath is a Harvard alum and successful startup founder. As a senior fellow at Duke University's Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship, Dan Heath completed his MBA at Harvard Business School and worked as a case writer for the venerated institution after graduating. He's also the founder of ThinkWell, a pioneering online education company which enhances student engagement that's approaching its 25th anniversary. Chip and Dan Heath's other books are Made to Stick, Switch, Decisive, and The Power of Moments. This has been a book review of Switch by Dan and Chip Heath. Hope you've enjoyed it. We are Accessory to Success. There's been a lot of other book recommendations in this review, and you can find links to all of those in the blog post. You can also subscribe to our email newsletter on site, where we send out a once weekly email with book recommendations, releases, and great takeaways from all these business books. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next review.